working with Mary J. Blige not too long ago, and I was just like, man, Mary J., I don't, even though I got 1,000 beats right here, I don't got nothing in here for you. I need to make something right here while you in here for you. Mm-hmm. And it was just magical, like, oh, that's special.
I appreciate you taking the time to join us. I see you got a fresh cut. Must be nice to be on hair to be a barber at this time, right?
Hey, man, it's a good thing.
It's a great thing. That's a great thing. Well, I mean, I don't really want to bore people with your credits because we would literally be here all day, but I definitely have to say we don't deserve you, Zaytoven. You gave us...
don't do that.
Man,
don't do that.
You gave us Versace, So Icy, Too Much Sauce. What else? Make the track say A. We got the album Trap Holiday, Usher's A, and probably my favorite, honestly, is Beast Mode.
That's my favorite. So,
real?
What's up? We got that in common.
Yeah, we got a lot in common. We've been rocking over 10 years, so we're like cousins, right?
Of course. First cousins.
First cousins. That's what's up. That's what's up. So I want to jump into it, and I want to start by saying I think stories are important, right? And I think these specific stories I'm going to talk about, they talk about discipline, endurance, passion, work ethic. So I just want to say them, and then I want you to kind of finish it, okay?
Okay.
All right, so you had a bucket, and you were going through the toll at the Golden Gate Bridge. Where were you coming from? What happened, and what did that experience teach you? That's my favorite story.
For those that don't know what a bucket is, it's a car that's barely making it, you know. So me living in San Francisco, almost living out of my car, not living out of my car saying I'm so poor that I don't got nowhere to live or nothing like that. But my ambition was driving me at that point. That means I had a bucket, a car that, you know, that's barely making it. And I did what it take to do what I wanted to do. And I was, you know, I was so excited about doing music. I was so enthused about getting to the studio and things of that nature that I'm taking risks. I'm going at all costs. So I remember with this car, driving on the Golden Gate, trying to, you know, pay the toll to get over the Golden Gate Bridge, and my car cut off. I used to have to throw it in neutral, press the gas to try to keep the engine there, you know, keep the engine running. But it just cut off. I'm like, oh, so the tow truck people had to come. I ain't had the money to get the tow truck people. So the guy was like, hey man, look what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bump your car all the way across the bridge and I'm gonna let you go. You know what I mean? From there, maybe you can just try to park it or something. So I remember parking. Yeah, I don't know. That's illegal, really. You wasn't supposed to do that.
Nah.
But that's how it went down. But I parked my car right off the freeway. Then I walked to the studio from there, and that was just, you know, that was something that I felt like that taught me, like, no matter what, you know what I mean, if this is what you're trying to do, if this is what you love to do, you got to make it happen. And I always took it like that. If my car break down, if I have to leave the studio at 3 in the morning, my car break down at the gas station, I sleep in the car for, you know, a couple hours till the sunlight come up, you know, and figure it out from there. And it was just my passion of, you know, doing music at that time.
That's what's up. Jumping into the second one real quick. So you and your homeboy formed a 2-man band at your high school. Why did you do that? And then what came out of you sharing your talent like that when you were really just doing it for fun?
The 2-man band, I went to the school called Galileo High School in San Francisco, California. And we didn't really have a band. We didn't really have, you know how out here you got marching bands, they got routines and everything. It's me, our band is me in the stand with my keyboard and the drummer. We both play at the church together. So it's like we playing, you know, we just playing music like you might have heard a song that you know, we playing a song that come on the radio and they're like, oh, I know that song. They playing Jay-Z or they playing this and that. And it's like, and it earned the attention of JT, the bigger figure at that time. He was the guy that was really running things in San Francisco. He had his own studio. He was like, oh, dude on the keyboard, Cole, I need to get him to the studio. And believe it or not, that's where my whole producing career even started. So.
Exactly. Just sharing your talent, though. I think that's what's important, you know?
Oh, we was having a ball. Man, we love to play at the football game. Cause we get all the attention, like, oh, they playing all the songs on the radio.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And then the last one, and we'll get into some more questions, but you used to unload trucks in the Bay too, as well as play keys in the church. So tell us about the story of why you were unloading trucks, like why you took that kind of job. Like, what was your mission behind trying to stack your money?
My job on helping offload trucks, I was getting paid $300 a week under the table, and we were just offloading pallets to all these different stores. And I was in music, I played music in the church. So I was looking at it like, okay, they give me $300 to play music at the church on Sundays. I get $300 from offloading these trucks. I cut hair, so all my buddies, I might make, $50 to $100. I can take all this money and go to the Guitar Center and start laying away me the studio equipment I wanted. Mm-hmm. At the time, the drum machine I wanted was $3,200. The keyboard I wanted was $3,600. And that's just the drum machine and the keyboard, not mentioning to get a computer, the software, Pro Tools, and interface and all that. So I was taking every dollar I had and taking it straight to the Guitar Center to start getting my equipment, to get my own studio.
Yeah, so you were investing in yourself at all costs.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, Zay. So in 2018, we were in the studio with Nipsey, God rest his soul, at Patchwork. And I don't know if you remember, but during that session, he said this, and I quote it, "You're not going to outsmart your instinct. Might as well go with what you feel." And we were in there producing a track for an artist at the time that, we were doing through a competition. And I took that to mean that making records is a lot about gut feelings. And then I also read that producer Mike Dean said in a recent interview that producing is more psychological than it is technical. And it reminded me of when you were first in the studio with Jeezy. And I remember he wasn't feeling so icy at the time, but you made an executive decision to keep that record because you felt it in your gut, right? So would you say that it is more psychological than technical? Or what's your take on it?
Definitely. Like, if anybody watch how I create music real fast, and it's because it's a spontaneous feeling. I feel like, like you said, music is not technical. You can sit down, I got all these buttons, I can press all these buttons and get all these different sounds from it, but that doesn't make, the song good or make it sound good or make it a hit. It's just a gut feeling. And that's how I create. I've been creating music like that, ever since I started. And that's how I try to teach other people, that I'm around, like, hey man, just don't overthink it. Don't think about it too much. Let's just create. Believe it or not, I'm one of the producers that I've created a sound I feel like that's been going on for almost 20 years now. It's like just the same sound. Like, dang, that's the sound I was doing, almost like 20 years ago.
Right.
But it lasted this long. And it was for me and for Gucci, it was something that was just spontaneous. We just creating just whatever we feel like at the time. We're not overthinking it. We're not trying to make nothing perfect. We're just creating what our feeling in our gut. And I feel like that's what music is. That's what make hit records. That will make artists stand out. That's what makes special music. So that's how we create like that.
And I remember one time when you did when I was doing the podcast Experience Hope, and you said that when you were working with Future, like, he doesn't pick and choose the tracks. If you give him 20 beats, he's gonna rap on 20. Yeah. And that's an artist to me. That's the artist that's saying, whatever you put in front of me, I can make something out of it. You know what I mean? That might be the best beat I ever heard. That might be the worst beat I ever heard. I'm finna create something to that. And that's what, that's what that gut feeling is. That's that feeling. So. Right. When you first started out, Zay, there was no Instagram, no TikTok. But you moved to Atlanta with no contacts. You had no friends. But yet you developed strong relationships. So you had to do it all over again as an up-and-coming producer with access to social media like we do now. Like, what would young Zay do with all this access?
I don't even know. I'm so simple. I'm so personal with people that I wouldn't have it no other way than the way, it happened for me. Cause it's like, I was building my relationships And it was easy for me because I've been moving all my life. I've been moving ever since, my dad was in the military. So I got to go to new schools, make new friends, make new relationships. So I was used to that. And I was, I almost get excited about that. You know how I can't wait to leave. I don't want to leave all my friends, but I can't wait to make some new ones. And that's what, that's kind of how it was with me with the music. Social media and everything now, it's, you can make new friends or even create with people, but it's not a real personal relationship. I don't think, it's like a distance now. You know what I mean? I can do a record. I had a #1 song in the country with somebody I ain't never met. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's a little different now. So I don't know what I would do different. It's like, that's a good question. That's a real good question. I don't even know what I would do different.
Right. But what you did do was, when you were working with Gucci, well, first of all, you found an artist that you believed in. Mm-hmm. And then whatever time Gucci came over, that's
just what it is. And that's what I'm saying. It's like a personal thing with somebody like him. It's like, it's to the point where, man, he might call me 4 o'clock in the morning. I got to sneak him in the house to record some records. But we rock with each other that much that, that's what we're going to do. So,
right. Yeah. Right. And then in turn, he starts shouting you out on the beats, and it kind of
every song.
Yeah. Developed your relationship. Yeah.
That's how you build a relationship. That's how I built my name. I was like, man, Gucci is one of them guys that's going to do whatever it takes to make it. I'm going to be right there behind him. So whatever you need from me, I'm going to be there to do it. And he just, all you can hear is Zay this, Zay this, Zay the best, Zay, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, and it made other people be like, it do make you listen to music different. If you like this artist and he keep talking about somebody else, it's like, man, well, that guy got to be the truth. Mm-hmm. The Bible even talk about, let somebody else speak well of you before you even say it yourself. Let somebody else talk about you good.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
right. You don't have to do it yourself.
You ain't got to do it yourself. Yeah.
Right. Well, Zay, I was like one of your last hires on your team because you felt like you were the publicist at the time, but I was like on you. I stayed on you. But I will say your first hire, you didn't even have a manager forever, and you still kind of rock like that. Yeah. But your first hire was your attorney, Carl Washington, right? Mm-hmm. So for up-and-coming producers, is that the first person you should put on your team as an attorney?
Well, I looked at it as in people like a publicist and a manager and all this. I got to pay them, and I don't see how they're going to bring me some money. That's just how I was looking at it, at a young age, like, damn, I got to pay them. With the lawyers, like, okay, I got a contract. The only way I'm going to get my money if this guy look over the contract and I signed it. So I got to have him, and I was trying to get away with, with the minimum back then. But as I grew, I started to understand, oh, wait a minute, Zay, you doing all this, but don't nobody really know. You need a publicist to, to make it bigger, to make you bigger. You're not going to get no bigger just doing it the way you're doing it. Right. So that's what made me start realizing, hold on, I do need Tamiko. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. It was a hard fight.
I know it was a hard push because I was like, man, what I need a publicist for? Like, I didn't know, you know what I mean? We doing real ghetto business. Like, for us to be popping at the Libra on Moreland Avenue was enough for us. That made us feel like we're the biggest in the world.
Right.
So,
right.
I didn't know you get no bigger than that.
Right. But look at where we came, right?
But look where we at now.
Look where we at. And speaking of looking where we at, like, in the 10 plus years that I've known you, you've scored movies, you starred in films, you've DJ'd at clubs, you've had residency in Vegas, you've co-hosted television shows, you starred in commercials, performed at the VMAs, on late night shows like Ellen.
I forgot all about all that.
Yes, Costello, Rolling Loud, you played the guitar, and I know I'm missing some, but you have stayed relevant for a very long time. And I think it's important at a time like this, especially, because of Corona, that when you're not the hottest producer or the person of the moment and you're not able to tour or make appearances, you have to have all these other almost talent pools to be able to sustain. So talk to us about the importance of reinventing yourself, because I think you're a master at it. And, why does that matter for a producer or anybody really?
Reinventing yourself is the only way you're going to stay in this game. The only way you're going to keep making money. And keep getting talked about.
Yeah.
And I didn't got a taste of being everybody, Zaytoven this, Zaytoven that I can't go out like that. I can't go 6 months or a year and it's like, okay, Zaytoven ain't being talked about, or Zaytoven ain't really doing nothing. He ain't really did nothing. I can't take it. I can't sleep at night. So it's like, I'm always thinking about what can I do or what I need to do to keep myself relevant, make myself relevant. So, I mean, if you want to make it in this game, that's the name of the game. You got to reinvent over and over again, you know.
Right.
It takes personality, it takes charisma, it takes you stepping outside the box. I'm naturally a shy, quiet person.
Exactly.
But I didn't, you know what I mean? That's my natural, you know, that's just how I am. But I done had to come out of that. You know, I done had to say at first when I'm like, I'm not gonna be no DJ, that ain't what I do. No, I am a DJ. You know what I mean? I don't get on no TV show. That's not my character. But hold on, yes I am. I'm finna do that. If I wanna remain relevant and be successful in doing this, I got to do it.
Amen. So, yeah, you've done it well. Just a few more questions, Zay. So you and I have a book together, From A to Z, and we also did an audio book and physical book called Experience Hope featuring Zaytoven. And I released another one called The Genius Things They Did, and it highlights simple yet like just common practices that people like Steve Jobs, Jay-Z, Nipsey, you know, have employed. So what do you think is the most genius thing you've done in your career?
Most genius?
Yeah. And it's probably the simplest.
It's the simplest, and it's being consistent. You know what I mean? I'm one of those guys that you can almost set your watch to me. It's like, I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna get up even while we're doing this. Doing this COVID-19 going on. I still get up at the same time. I still get out here and make 5 to 10 beats in the morning before I go work out. And it's like, I don't need to. I got so many beats I don't even know what to do with. But it's just it's just something that I'm consistent at what I'm doing. I'm still gonna email all these different artists that I gotta do. I still gonna spend a certain time with my family and my kids, whatever. And it's just, I think that's what has made me successful, is that I'm not gonna quit, whether I'm hot, whether I'm smoking hot, or if I'm ice cold and I ain't got nothing going on. I'm gonna continue to keep doing what I know that has made me successful. I'm gonna keep doing that. And I think the consistency has kept me around, this long.
Right. True. And then one of the last questions, the name of this company, Jason Jeter, who's the founder of it, is called Heavy Sound Labs. So what's the heaviest song you've made? And by heavy, I mean the hardest. Like, if you had to bet your life on it, and this is your goat song, Zay, like, what's the heaviest
song?
Yeah.
That's
hard, right?
That's so hard.
Look, give me three.
My songs that I feel like
that your heaviest tracks. They could be non-commercial.
Yeah.
They could be on number 7 on the album. Didn't make it to radio.
Man, I got so many, but I'm gonna say Gucci Mane, First Day Out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
foundation track too.
Yeah. I'm gonna say OJ the Juice Man, Make the Trap Say A. Man, I got so much Future. It's like, man, I can't even. That's too hard for me. It's like Wi-Fi lit is like, that's hard.
Right.
That's hard to me. That's too many, because I got so many songs that I feel like, and they make me feel like, bro, it's the hardest song in the world.
Yeah.
It's too many. It's like I got too many of them that just make me feel like that.
I don't know. That wasn't fair. That's
a hard question. It's one thing to say what's your biggest record and this and that, but the ones that make me feel like, but it's the hardest, I got too many of them.
Yeah.
There's so many songs that make me feel like that.
Yeah, I know. That's not fair. And we're going to get into a few Q&As before I let you go. But obviously, we're being forced to slow down. But you've been somebody that has always balanced work and family. Like, it's no stranger that, you always put God first. Like, you're very vocal about it. Tell us why it's important. We didn't really need a quarantine we shouldn't have needed one to slow us down. But why is it important? I mean, obviously we got to work hard, but then also, why is it important for us to, take that break?
I almost think we need it. I feel like even I need it. And, I do pretty good at balancing things, but it just makes you, sit down and rethink and appreciate, and it's almost a reset button. That's what I took it as. It's like, even though I'm good with spending time with my family and spending time, you know, praying or hanging with my wife or my kids or whatever, it still took this sitting down to really just, you know, really look at it a different way and appreciate and look around like what I got. Like, man, it's amazing what I have, and you know, and it's just, I think it's really that. It's definitely a good reset button. And if I didn't do this, then like if you watch me on TikTok or if you see certain things I'm doing now, you probably wouldn't have seen that if, you know, if this didn't happen.
Yeah.
I got shows to do. I got to be out of town. I got to, you know, so I'm still moving. I'm still spending, you know, the time with the family stuff that I got to do, but not as intimate as it is now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it almost makes you, even with me, you know, being a spiritual person, it makes you pray different. It makes you, you know, be thankful in a different way. So, and I think it was good, even for, you know, people like me.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, for sure. All right, cool. So I have a question, real quick. Lahindra Kegan says, I have my equipment and software, but lacking skills playing piano chords. What suggestions do you have to efficiently learn piano chords?
YouTube. Now, I play music, right? I play music in the church every Sunday. My son is playing the piano stuff that I can't even play, and I'm not teaching it to him. He learned it off of YouTube.
Okay.
He playing the Zaytoven songs like, bro, I ain't never know how to play that.
I heard it from your live. Yeah.
It's like, I ain't never know how to play that, but he watched it on YouTube and he learned it. So, you know, that's a good place to learn.
No, it's a great way to learn. So when creating an instrumental for an artist you haven't worked with previously, what inspires you to build that organic spontaneity for the sound?
That person being in the same room with me. I was working with Mary J. Blige not too long ago, and I was just like, man, Mary J., even though I got 1,000 beats right here, I don't got nothing in here for you. I need to make something right here while you in here for you. And it was just magical, like, oh, that's special. That's it right there. You know what I mean? I didn't have that. I didn't make that beat already. So it makes me, you know, it takes me to another level when I'm in the studio with that artist.
Okay. And then somebody asked, when you have writer's block or even just a creative block, like, I mean, for you to go to the studio every single day, like every day can't be the best, but what are some good methods to overcome that? The
worst days are the best days. Like when I promise you, the songs that I'm saying I feel like my hardest or some of the biggest songs I done had came from me not wanting to create. Or it's like, I don't really feel like doing this. You know what I mean? That beat ain't really that hard. I really want to throw that beat away. And those be the special one. Yeah. It's like, man, that's the one. You know, so it's like anytime you don't feel like doing it or you feel like you got writer's block and you're not creative, create anyway. Because believe it or not, that might be that special day. Right. I done had times where I didn't feel like I done made the hardest beats in the world, like these beats so hard. You know what I mean? Then the other time where I'm trying to feed the baby and this and that, I'm just making beats because I said I was gonna make some beats. And it's like, boy, that beat you made that day, that's the one. And it's like, oh, yeah. So. Yeah. All right, one last question. So let me see. Is it better to have a signature sound or be able to adapt to different sounds and trends? For me, I honestly feel like it's best to have a signature sound, identity. I always tell up and coming producers that because that's the only reason I didn't lasted so long. That's the only reason why people can identify with me. That's the only reason why people want to pay me is because it's like, oh, I know his sound. I need his sound. Right. You know, so many guys right now that probably got more platinum plaques than me, but you don't know who they are. You don't know what their music sound like. So if the song came on the radio, you wouldn't even know. Like, I don't know who did that. I don't even really care. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? That's just how it is right now. It's like it's so many producers they dope and they good, but they so all over the place. It's like they don't have an identity. So I definitely feel like a signature sound is needed. No, I totally agree. Like it's part of brand building, you know? And brand building.
Yeah.
Gotta build your brand. Yes, sir.
So Zay, you just put out a new song with Cash Doll. Who else was on that track?
And Icewear Vezo, they both from Detroit.
Okay. What else you got going on?
Man, nice.
We don't know. I know that's what you got to say.
Yeah, it's so much. It's like, of course, you know, all the artists I'm working with, you know, this project coming. A lot of new music coming. Some of the stuff I don't even want to spoil the surprise because I'm known for spoiling the surprise. Yeah. People that had to come like, Zay, man, don't tell them, like, why you tell? It's like, bro, I didn't know. I didn't know. I was excited about it. I wanted to tell. But, you know, I guess the element of surprise is one of the biggest things for the, you know, the music that we do. So I be talking too much. But
yeah. Just stay tuned.
So it's a lot coming. It's a lot.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like the type of person you'll be in the studio with Kanye. Like, even you were supposed to come to the BMI Awards, and I was like, Zay, where you at? And you were like, oh, I had to go to Chicago to work with Kanye. Yep. So yeah. All right, Zay, where can we find you? TikTok, Instagram, wherever?
All my social media is Zaytoven Beats, ZAYTOVENBEATZ.
All right, that's what's up. Any positive words you want to leave us with? You know, obviously, you know, you have that spirit in you. Any positive words you can give us to get through this quarantine season?
I mean, remain thankful and humble. That's the way I approach everything.
Yeah, thankful and humble. All right. All right. That's what's up. Thank you, Zay.
Appreciate it, Miko.